And the scene is set just outside the office that's currently controlled by Mitch Maverick, actually. Outside, there seems to be this random pedestrian that seems to be throwing a lot of useless CDs and VHSs to the ground. This is a very, very strange and awkward sight for all who see this particular individual. He seems to be ranting and raving about how Hollywood is just complete and utter bullshit. How he saw Black Swan and it was no Caesar that he was completely and utterly promised, actually. Well, above this madman who seems to be ranting absolute nonsense, there happens to be a Nosferatu by the name of Baker and a Ventru, also known by the name of Mitch Maverick. As Baker is just looking out at this particular scene, scratching his bald and pale head and looking back to Mitch and simply say, I don't remember any of that nonsense since when I was watching television.
And Mitch just kind of looks over and looks back at the man throwing all the appliances to the ground. He's like, I don't remember any of this in general either. Does he need an appointment with a certain friend of ours?
It would not do him bad. I heard him talking and ranting about breachy, no, not necessarily breachy stuff, because nobody's gonna believe the madman, but certain topics that he shouldn't be talking about. Or, depending on your own use of the masquerade, the kind of subjects that you would want to be yelled and screamed by a crazy man simply to discredit them. In any case, thank you, my good sir, for meeting me on such short circumstances. My night is rather short, and I have plenty of places to go before I lay my cold, undead head upon the stone slab that I call my bed.
Yeah. And you'll see Mitch kind of like shudder at the thought, but shaking his head, he's like, so what'd you call me out of my office for?
Okay.
Use one of the favors, I assume?
I actually need you to do something for me. There's a person that I want looked into, a rather suspicious sort, actually. He was actually tailing you, if you wanted to know, which is why I'm giving you the opportunity to go ahead and stalk this fucker.
And Mitch raises a brow and he looks over and he's like, tailing me when? Because it's a different
Last,
matter.
he goes ahead and looks at you and simply says, "Last night."
Oh, fuck. Why did I bring that fucking car? And Mitch will be rubbing his brow. So, is there any general guideline of how we're to treat this person when we find him?
I would prefer him captured and questioned, actually. He might be connected to quite a number of cases. Just to describe this individual, he has various distinguishing marks, at which point Baker goes ahead and describes the distinguishing marks, including the scars that he saw on his face. The only lead I have for Scarface here is the fact that I got a hold of his license plate as he was leaving the neighborhood last night. As far as I can tell, it could be a rental car from out of town. I'm thinking you use your connections to see if you can't pinpoint the exact rental place, and then I think it'd be a good practice for you to go ahead and see how this card was paid, if at all. If it was paid in cash, well, we can do very, very little. But you can always interview the people that serviced him at that rental place, and hell, if he was stupid enough to do a credit card or to give any sort of reference or name, that'd be more fantastic. Like I said, I'm giving you this opportunity to track this fucker down, just so that I don't have to. And you'd be incentivized because I don't know what he saw. and I don't know who he reports to.
So we want to get to him as soon as possible. Alright, so do you have the license plate number?
Okay, Baker goes ahead and writes it down for you and hands it over.
Hmm. You look at it and he's like, wonder which
It's
one
not
am
a
I?
local. It's not a local plate. I'm gonna go ahead and actually do a little bit more legwork for you, but I'm gonna see what you can bring up. Myself, I got a contact in the police force that I can kind of tap to see how much information this license plate gives me, but I can only assume that it's from an out-of-town rental service.
So you might not have any information on out of town stuff at all.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
Hmm.
Now, if it was up to me and I had all the time in the world, I would simply walk over to that particular rental station, ruffle around their computer files, uh, or do the like. But I assume that you, been true, you blue bloods have your own means of gathering information. So I want to see what you can do with it.
And he'll shake his head. He's like, well, try my best. I'll see what I can do. I think I might have somebody who can help me fish some things up, but I'm not exactly into this kind of line of work, if you know, like investigative stuff. It isn't my forte.
You'd be amazed the kind of business opportunities that tend to surface when you literally know where all the bodies are buried. All of the bodies, even the little ones.
Mitch gives Baker a look at that.
You want to say something?
No, 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 no. I don't have anything to say. But, let's see. Out of character, more to David, since I have 3 dots on contacts, like, are there any contacts Mitch would have that would be particularly useful?
It's more for you to tell me.
Fuck. Because I know I have some of the contacts Baker gave me. Like, that's basically what one of the dots does. One of the other ones is his sire, who's across the country. That's more for business. And the last one... I need to decide that last one.
Well, it'd be fantastic for you to go ahead and decide that now. I mean, it's plot convenient. Plot convenient, contact assignment. This is the perfect time to do so. This is what I do all the time.
Any ideas?
Uh,
No?
you could do the DMV, automobile industry, or the like. Traffic, transport.
So I'm probably going to say traffic transport because it might be a good thing for Mitch to keep on track of what's going in and out of town.
Excellent.
And Mitch is he's going to take the sticky note and are there any payphones nearby?
Well, I would assume so. Before you go ahead and leave the office, Baker's just going to go ahead and look at you and simply say, I'm going to give you one chance to talk to me just as any other kindred. Take out any status between us, take out any history between us, take out any seniority. I'm giving you this one chance.
To ask you any question. Almost any question.
To ask me any question or talk about any subject or simply rant at me.
I honestly don't fucking know because I'm more or less, I don't know. I see you as the friendly neighborhood Nosferatu. Anyways, I know you're the Primogen, but most of the time when I see you, you're up to your knees in dirty work. So, out of curiosity, how often do you get boons on people? Because it seems you've got everyone within your grasp.
Okay, so you want to know my secret?
I
Well,
guess you could
a
say that.
long time ago, I found my niche. I got really good at my particular skill set, and this particular set of skills were fantastic for maintaining the masquerade and the dignity of many kindred who did not want to see their failings or their just gradual faults come to light within the greater society. So I made it a habit to foster those abilities, those skills, to make sure that I could hide all the bodies. And the fantastic thing is, people are very grateful for you to keep your mouth shut and to wash away all their sins, so that even they can forget what they did. My suggestion to you, you find your own particular skill set, you find where your corner, your market is, your Aventru. There are very traditional areas for that particular skill set. You get very good at it, and then you start trading favors for favors. You find somebody that has a need, money, resources, influence, contacts, whatever have you, and then you offer the other kindred in the area to use your particular contacts, influence, resources, whatever have you, for a one-time offer of a one-time boon. Pretty soon, sure enough, everybody's coming to you when they need a little bit of extra money or some influence, or maybe they just don't know the right people. They come to you, and you get to rack up as many boons as you would want to.
That's pretty fucking sound advice. Now, is there anything you want to ask me, or should I just get down to business?
I know everything that I need to know about you, and
And
much more. He goes ahead
Mitch
and gives you
looks
a
over.
toothy smile.
Great.
Don't
Feel
worry,
like I'm
don't
back
worry.
at
I'll
square
take
one
the
again.
opportunity to talk candidly to you one of these nights. But for now, there is other business to attend to. More dead bodies that need to be unearthed.
All right. So tonight's order of business is to find this asshole.
Yep.
All right. I might have a couple people who could help.
All right. I've got another meeting to attend to, so I'll just go ahead and let you have at it. And Baker's gonna go ahead and do the Nosferatu thing, and cover himself up with his overcoat, and proceed to walk out of the office, making sure to obfuscate away from the scene. He has his own particular destination, and I'll wait for players to go ahead and change personas and get themselves unmuted before I introduce that particular scene.
All right. Mitch is gonna head over to a payphone, just mostly so it can't be easily tracked down to his cell phone, and he'll he'll make his first call to Isabel and say to meet him at the law office that he had purchased. That he had a couple things that needed to be dealt with, and then he's probably gonna call Mr. Wabi too, because he figured the more hands that he has working on this project, the better. He's gonna The phone call's gonna be brief. It's just gonna be meet me here. I'll explain when you get here.
Alright. Isabel will reply positively and she'll say, alright, on my way. Of course, she'll sound a little confused, but whatever.
Willie will. Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's fine.
Willie's just going to shrug on the other side. Of course, you won't be able to hear or see that. He'll just go, "All right, I have nothing better to do this evening, and I'll meet you at such and such location." So then he hangs up the phone.
And Mitch is just gonna kind of take a seat in the lobby of the law office, just picking up a magazine and reading it idly while he waited. And you guys can choose how you arrive and all that.
Isabel probably caught a cab there. And probably had them stop a block or two away and walked the rest of the way to the law office. And when she gets there, she'll try the door and see if it's unlocked.
The door is unlocked.
Alright. And Isabel will just walk on in, and she'll look around for Mitch.
And you'll see Mitch kind of sitting down. It's just, the lobby's like one of those ones you'll see. It's almost like waiting for a hospital. There's a secretary desk, which is currently abandoned because she probably went home for the night. But there's a few comfortable seats around, a little rack with magazines, a little coffee table in the middle, and you'll just see Mitch sitting at one of the seats.
And Isabel will bounce on over, and she'll go, "Alright, Maverick, what's up? What do you need me for?"
Take a seat, we're waiting for one more.
And she'll flop into a seat, and she'll reach for another magazine. And mimicking him in that.
Willie will arrive a little later. He has also taken a cab, but dropped off a little farther. And as he walks in, he looks around and says hi to Mitch. And he's like, "So, am I going to be coming here to see you often, or is this just a random office space?"
Well, this is my domain now. I wouldn't say haven, but I guess you could say that if I ever... should I ever need to have an inner city one. Alright, take a seat. We got business. Fortunately, it was assigned to me by our... You guys are aware of our friendly neighborhood Nosferatu, Mr. Baker, correct?
Ah, yes, the favor collector.
Yes. One of which he's collecting on me right now. And since you're not part of our coterie, Willie, I'll owe you a favor if you help with this task.
Of course.
Alright, so he'll put the little like write down of the description of the guy they're looking for, and he'll put the license plate on the little coffee table in front of him. And he'll look between the two, and he's like, "This man was seen at a crime scene that we were checking out last night. I'm not going to tell you what happened at that crime scene, but essentially, we need to capture this guy alive. We can't let this guy wander about. It is not a safe thing to let this guy wander about."
Alright.
And Isabel, I kind of have a double whammy thing for you.
Oh, great.
Have you gone to the police center to reschedule our client, his doctor appointment?
No, I haven't had the time yet. I've been dealing with some other shit, but I need to get on that.
Would you be able to do that tonight?
Yeah, it's still early enough.
Alright. I need two things to be done. You need to do that. give him the appointment to go to our friend. And I also need you to look for any information regarding the license plate number I have put here.
Alright, just put me in front of a computer.
Should we out of character real quick to tell Lisa what's happening?
Yeah.
Alright, Baker has given Mitch a thing to investigate. There was a man at a crime scene last night that was checking it out, and we don't know what that man's up to, so we're trying to find out anything we can on him. And so far the information we have is we know what the guy looks like, and we have his the license plate number of what seems to be an out-of-town rental car. And we're trying to find this man and basically capture him alive.
There's also another investigation, if you guys want to get on it. I'm a glorified quest giver at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know what's really going on. I just woke up, guys.
I is sorry, kitten.
Not your fault.
Basically, this particular group is apparently gearing up to investigate Scarface. I also have another person that needs to be tracked down, probably a little bit more dangerous. I call him Red Eyes because he has red eyes and he scares me.
Do you want to join us in the first investigation, or would you rather do the second? Lisa?
I can help with either. I have ways of investigating.
Alright.
Um,
Does she know Willie?
yeah.
Alright. Then I have an idea of how to get you in this scene.
And Baker.
Yeah. Well, Baker currently... He went for a walk.
Yeah, he's going to set up the next meeting for the other investigation.
Yeah, which one... And the one which I basically have to change characters for, but...
Yeah,
I'm trying to think, like, what's the aim of this investigation? To find this person? Why?
Well, the first one is because he was there and present at a potential masquerade breach. The second one is because there's this asshole I'm calling Red Eyes is currently dumping bodies in my sewers.
Okay. Well,
It might be better for Baker to retrieve her.
yeah, bring me along for the second investigation.
Yep, fair it is.
Yeah, and that seems like to make more sense. Let Baker come and get me.
Alright. So, back into character, Mitch is going to look over at the both of them and say, alright, so, Willie, do you have any connections, anything to help us find this person? Right now, our only leads is we're looking for a scarred man with a rental car.
I have no connections of sort, but I do have an idea. How badly scarred was this individual? And do you have any idea what the cuts look like?
Well, according to Baker, there was a scar running down his nose, and he had a broken nose as well. A bit crooked. You know, someone that you probably see in a bar. One who gets in one too many fights for his own liking.
Okay. Well, that,
Oh. Brow is an eyebrow. Pfft, thanks, David.
It's just a singular scar that probably induces a fight. If it's like a scar, like a claw, he might be he might be reported as an animal attack victim.
Well, you could probably start looking into that, see if there's any hospital records on it or something of the like. And Isabel, you can handle the police department. Just find any information you can on the license plate number. And I'm gonna go call the traffic transport and see if anything has reported that car being checked in anywhere and they're out of town.
Isabel gives a little salute. I'm on it.
All right. If you're not prepared to do it tonight, you don't have to. Just try to at least get prepared to do this task soon.
No, I'll get on it. Don't worry about it, man.
I will try calling around, seeing if he's been treated recently, but I'm sure I'll get the HIPAA wall of silence.
All right. Just see if there's any cases that have to do with that in the past. And if we can get a definite lead, then we're going after him. But if we can't, we're turning it all over to Baker, I assume.
Okay. You said he might have witnessed a masquerade breach. What is this breach concerning?
Not really sure I want to fucking talk about it. Just... It's been dealt with. But the problem is we need to make sure this asshole doesn't, cause any more breaches.
Okay.
You'll see Mitch kind of give... It's almost a distant look. Like, it's still on his mind.
So heavy and dark stuff. Okay, I got it.
Alright. Is there anything else you guys need? A car? Just anything to help? A phone? He points to the secretary phone.
I was going to use my cell phone, but I can run up minutes on yours.
Yeah, whatever. Just don't use too many long-distance ones.
No, I was just going to call the local hospitals.
Alright. And Mitch is gonna stand up and give a bit of a nod. I'm gonna go outside and call the traffic control.
Okay.
Should I call Celio and tell him what you're up to, Isabel, or no?
Isabel is actually unresponsive. She's just sitting there.
Isabel? You okay?
And after a moment, after you speak to her, you just hear like this sort of roar come from her, and she shakes her head and kind of flails a little bit. She looks a little bit panicked. What? Fuck. And she holds her head in her hands.
Isabel, are you okay? And Mitch will kind of go over and kneel beside her, just like kneel beside the seat and look over. You sure you want to do this tonight?
Fuck. She ignores him, actually. Kind of pushes past him and goes to look out the window. And,
Outside the window, actually, I'll just go ahead and make a quick note of it. There are like hundreds and tens of DVDs and VHSs that have been smashed on the pavement below. The insane homeless man who was throwing such objects has obviously moved on.
God damn it.
Okay, so there's no demons out there, she mutters.
And Mitch will kind of just walk over. Yeah, you guys missed a spectacle. Me and
Yeah.
Baker were watching this person just throwing these things to the ground and talking about Hollywood and corruption and something about a blackbird. I don't fucking know. Just a crazy ass son of a bitch.
Right. She kind of goes, I should probably go handle stuff.
Alright. And Mitch is gonna kind of step outside, holding the door. Holding the door in case they want to leave.
Isabel gets out quickly out of that room.
Willie is just going to take a seat behind the reception's desk and pick up the phone and start dialing the hospitals.
Alright. And Mitch is gonna go make his phone call to traffic control. By the way, I need to be right back.
Okay.
Transition the scene.
Sure. Start working on setting up the next investigation, I guess.
All right.
Switch characters then.
By the way, you might not be able to get Chell because I literally have an hour before I have to go to school. And I have to start getting ready.
That is completely fine. I'll go ahead and leave a message, and if you can make it, you can make it. If you can't, you can't.
Yeah. And once I come back from school, you can probably use Chell, but I don't know if you guys will still be going.
Fair dues. We'll see. The next scene sets up rather much more mundanely, much more coldly within the let's just go ahead and call it a sewer maintenance tunnel, actually. The site where the last body of the asshole called Red Eyes dropped off, the poor unfortunate soul. Baker, for his part, has secured the area, made sure that all work crews are circumvented. They are someplace else for as long as possible. He wants to keep this particular scene as clean and pristine as possible, just because he knows that other people with the second sight will be able to discern a lot more detail for this site, and he happens to know that one or two of them owed him quite a many a favor. The first one he will go ahead and call. He'll call the number that he knows will eventually reach Lady Fortescue. Maybe not her personal number, but maybe the number of one of her retainers.
You initially get the cool, crisp tones of Camilla's personal assistant, Mrs. Hodges, who eventually passes you on to, patches you through to Camilla, who says, Mr. Baker, what can I do for you?
Miss Fortescue, would you like an opportunity to repay the boon that you owe me? Rather simply and easily.
I'm listening.
I have something that needs to be looked into. A particular individual that has some very distinguishing characteristics. Characteristics I can't quite describe over the phone. Would you like to meet me someplace? Perhaps close to where we will be working?
Of course. Give me a little time to prepare.
Of course. There is a stop and go just above me. It's closed for the evening. Say an hour and a half.
Very good.
All right. Insert address of street corner and street corner, and you're off. Baker will go ahead and think to himself again and decide that perhaps there is another person with the second sight that may not be as useful, may not be as experienced, but having a second set of eyes is always useful though she is certainly untested. He'll go ahead and call the number that'll eventually reach Eve.
And poor Eve, as usual, gets called, and you hear shuffling, you hear her going, "Stop, stop, it's another phone call." Yeah, what? Hello?
Stop playing with your boy toy. I have a job for you.
Cop blocked again. Great. Alright, what do you need?
I need somebody with a good set of eyes to work with the lady tonight to track down some asshole.
Oh, fun times. Where am I meeting you?
Insert address here. The stop and go, about an hour and 15 minutes from here.
Alright. On my way.
Alright, cool. Baker, for the last number, he's not quite sure if he can reach it. But I'll go ahead and make the valiant try to reach Shell. Maybe an extra set of muscle be good for this particular investigation, should they come to any hostilities or combat. And Baker will go ahead and try. Do 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 do. Unfortunately, this particular number will continue to ring, and unfortunately will not pick up. So he goes ahead and leaves a short, curt little message, and proceeds to make his way out from the sewer maintenance tunnel to the dark corner of the stop and go, where the streetlights don't necessarily reach as much as they ought to. And he simply sits there, stands there, using the gifts of the blood to make himself particularly invisible, waiting for the two second-siders to meet.
Well, a very frustrated looking Eve will show up at the scene, kind of dragging along behind her the usual man in a coat. She will look around for Baker.
But you're not going to see him.
Well, no, I figured. But she'll wait in the place where she can be seen.
About 5 minutes later, a sort of nondescript black car drops off Camilla. She's dressed appropriately in a suit that she doesn't mind getting damaged, let's say, and gloves, and she's carrying what looks like a doctor's, one of those very old-fashioned doctor's bags in her
Nice.
leather-gloved hand.
Mm-hmm. To break the tension, Baker's going to go ahead and throw a rock at it. He'll sling a small bit of gravel, a pebble actually, and see if he can't flick it off from where he's standing in the shadows to go ahead and hit that nice little doctor bag.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. And Camilla's green eyes dart in the direction that the stone came from.
You see Baker's form. Bald, pale head, red beanies, and all his monstrosity. And he's sort of gesturing you to come over here.
She approaches him.
Would Eve have noticed Camilla at that point?
Yeah.
Well, when she sees Camilla going in that direction, she's gonna tug on Crimson
Mm-hmm.
and start walking over.
Right. We have the baker standing in the back of the stop and go, the one headlight above him being out, blinking on and off a really, really harsh yellow, puke yellow actually, light. He looks to the both of the Toreadors and simply says, "Right. I called you two together because I actually lucked out a night ago. Do you two, or are you two well aware about the series of, uh, what do I call it, exsanguinated bodies that have been turning up within my sewers and my domain?"
Why, I was around for the one body that was stuffed partially down a sewer, but didn't know there were more.
Yes. I was able to recover one of them before anybody saw it, actually. I currently have it within my possession, and I've been able to secure the crime scene. And if both of you are willing, I'd like both of you to go ahead and give it a once over and see if you can't find any leads that could be very, very useful to us. As I remember it, searching in the back of my head, I'm calling him Red Eyes. I'm just calling him Red Eyes because that's the most salient feature I saw. White skin, red eyes. He was apparently wearing all black, so he took some manner of concealment, actually looking at himself. Kind of like me, actually.
Eve kind of looks at Baker. Is he a Nosferatu, perhaps?
If he is a Nosferatu, he has not presented himself to me.
Hmm.
Because all vampires are so careful to do that. Camilla tightens her hand on the grip of her cane, seeming annoyed by some other matter. Well, I will do what I can to assist in this matter. Though I don't see why we're all doing the job of the sheriff. Where's he been these days?
As far as I can tell, I have no idea, actually. This was an act perpetrated against me in my own domain, and I am using the resources available to me and the boons that have been presented to me in order to get this accomplished with or without official support.
Camilla nods.
I don't care how it gets done as long as it gets done, and I'm not waiting on the gangrels to get it done. They wander. They have a tendency to do that. Without much further ado, Baker will go ahead and push himself off the wall and just start to escort the ladies towards the rather smelly and putrid sewer cover. And he goes ahead and simply lifts off with nary to trouble. The skills and blessings of blood helping him so much in this effort. He slides it over and he descends.
Camilla climbs down after him.
Eve takes a moment to turn to Crimson. You sure you want to go down there?
And Crimson's just gonna walk to the edge, look down, and yeah, let's do this. And he's not wearing the usual coat that he normally has. This one's not leather. This one's more of a more waterproof substance.
PVC. Kinky coat. Sorry.
Oh, somebody went down the kink aisle. Okay, fair enough. Baker will go ahead and...
like pleather or something that looks like leather but offers a lot more resistance to water.
It doesn't matter. It's all going to smell by the end of this. Baker will go ahead and leave the trio behind him to where the body was found, actually. And he'll actually walk a few paces away, first extending out his hand, pointing towards the area. This is where the body was dumped, and if you'll give me a moment, I'll be able to procure the body for you to examine as well. And he'll go ahead and disappear behind a corner for a few minutes.
I'm gonna go ahead and use Auspex 1 to heighten my senses and go for vision, because it'll be dark.
Roll stamina.
Alright. Hold on, let me check. What the hell is my stamina? Oh, that's my old stamina. Sure. Oh.
Yeah, it stinks down here. This is a sewer. You're being assaulted.
Meh.
I'm going to reach into my doctor's bag and take out a flashlight and look around and roll perception investigation, if I may.
Well, Dave, this is your crime scene.
Okay. Well, initially there doesn't seem to be anything special about this location, other than it's directly over under the manhole.
Okay.
Probably plenty of filth in the middle of the passageway.
And after a few minutes or moments, Baker will go ahead and present himself again. This time, apparently carrying a bundle that's wrapped up in a carpet. The bundle is actually a little bit shorter than you would think an adult would actually be. Maybe an adult female, but it would be an extreme case of shortness, way below the national average, at least. And he goes ahead and presents it, sets it down on the ground before the two of you, and simply says, "This is what was discovered."
Eve takes a step back from it, but she'll look.
And what's Crimson doing?
He's sticking by the ladder that goes back up. He's gonna
Wait.
remove his shades at this point.
In which case, Camilla will approach the body and with her gloved hand, part the covering on it to look within.
This particular individual doesn't have much as far as physical stature. Not very physically imposing, to say the least. Probably has like a 5 o'clock shadow and mossy hair. Wearing just like a t-shirt and jeans. The neck, however, has been completely torn. Yet you find a lack of blood.
Hmm. And you believe that the placing of this individual in your particular domain was deliberate?
I believe it was most convenient for the perpetrator. It's not a slight against me personally. It may be a slight against Nosferatu in general, but as you can see, he points up towards the manhole. Convenient. Go ahead. You have a fresh kill. You don't know what to do with it. You lift the manhole cover. You throw him down in here. This time you were lucky enough for one of my people to spot it before anybody else and hide it as quickly as possible. I believe the killing may have been up there, actually. Somewhere close, maybe.
Probably.
Actually, Baker's gonna go ahead and leave the body there for a second, walk up a few of the rungs of this ladder, look out. Is there a camera on the stop and go? Or
I'm gonna say there is.
Okay, fair enough. I know what I'm doing. Baker's gonna look back towards the two of them and simply say, "Wait a moment. We may have gotten lucky." And what Baker's gonna do is he's gonna go ahead and exit the manhole cover, and he's gonna return to the stop and go. Actually, the back entrance of the stop and go. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna use some nasty Nosferatu tricks to break into the back.
Okay. It's not going to be particularly difficult.
You want me to roll it?
Hmm?
Right. I assume Dex larceny?
Yes.
Alright, let me load it up. Do-do-do-do. Eh. Two successes. One gets cancelled out.
Alright, that's still enough to pop the lock open, and your phone starts buzzing.
Go ahead and stop for a moment. Look at my phone.
If you look in the chat window, you'll see that you received a text.
Go ahead and stop for a second and read the text. Did I
This
disconnect?
text is no.
I
this
was waiting to
text
see
is
what you
from-
do after that.
No,
This
I'm going to stop and read the text.
This text is from Mitch Maverick. The text says, "The situation has an update. Come see or call when you want the info." From Mitch Maverick.
Awesome. I'm going to put my phone on silence and continue on the rest of my day.
Baker gave an honest effort.
Yep.
Alright.
Okay. Awesome. Now I'm in the back, and I've worked a stop and go once before. They usually have the freezer out back. This is usually the employee entrance that doesn't have anything as far as any fantastic locks, but I know for a fact that they have a camera that points towards the front entrance. And I know for a fact that they do not keep records for very, very long. However, they do have an on-site, just a small video server to hold that one-day buffer, just in case authorities come by and ask for it. So that's what he's going to look for right now.
Alright. And I'm actually going to leave this one up to a single fate die. Because you're going to find it no matter what. But what's on it will... Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. You have the footage for the day that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have the day for the footage. Evening hours, do I find or do I see any interesting figures?
They're not in the immediate. Like, the camera wasn't pointed at the manhole, it was pointed at the the gas pumps to catch people that are trying to just gas up and go without paying.
Gas and go, that kind of scam.
Yeah. Except through the very edge of the screen, you see a figure in a black coat run up with the body, and with one hand pries the cover off the manhole and throws the body down, and looks up just in time to see a truck have to slam on its brakes to avoid hitting him. He then tosses the cover back down and takes off.
Interesting. I'm going to assume that the camera didn't get enough detail about the truck to identify it.
No, it just got the grill and the glare of the headlights.
You know what? This is better than I expected. I'm going to take all this footage and I'm going to specifically note the timestamp that this occurred. I now know exactly when this situation happened, when the body was dumped.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And after he gets all that information safely tucks away, he'll go ahead and vacate the stop and go via the back entrance, and he'll make sure to lock it, because he's a considerate Nosferatu.
Okay.
And I assume in the meantime, everybody else has been doing all these other things, so I'll stop. I'll give the scene up to somebody else.
In the meantime, I'm going to make a Auspex roll for Spirit's Touch on the body. With difficulty. I'm not sure what the difficulty is.
Give me 1 second. The difficulty for this is probably going to be a 4 because you're dealing directly with the body. You're dealing with someone who was murdered, and the book even says sensitive information about a pistol used for a murder hours ago may require a 4.
Yeah. So 3.
So while it wasn't only a few hours ago, you're dealing with the body itself instead of the weapon that was used. And with that many successes, you can ask me any question you want regarding this individual.
What's the last memory of the person?
Right, you're basically going to relive this memory from his perspective. And what you're going to see is, you're going to see this scantily clad lady, and she's forking over some cash, and he's like, "Where's the rest?" She's like, "I didn't, that's all, that's it." "No, you were out working on that corner for 5 fucking hours. Where's the rest of the fucking money?" And they're having an argument back and forth. And he actually slaps her. And he's about to reach for a weapon, and the next thing you know, from his perspective, you've been lifted off the ground and slammed into a wall several times.
Mm-hmm.
You dropped the weapon because you lost all the wind in your lungs, and then you were yanked off into the darkness. And you can hear the girl faintly yelling, "What the fuck was that?" And next thing you know, you feel pain in your neck.
Interesting. From the outside, for people standing in the sewer, you see Camilla sort of haze over a little bit, and her eyes glaze, and she seems to be lost in a trance for a few moments. And when she manages to come out of it, she's has to brace herself on the wall, and her body, her upper body sort of heaves a little bit, with the shock of reliving a memory from somebody else.
You alright, Miss Fortescue?
She holds up her gloved hand in your direction as if to say, I'm fine. Manages to right herself. Well, I can't say I feel sorry for this particular individual. Whoever it was that attacked him from behind and beat him viciously before he was killed. It may have been just a random feeding, but I've got a feeling it had something to do with his behaviour prior to his death.
And what was that?
He was beating a young lady before he was apprehended by the killer from behind, so it just sort of rings a little bit of someone coming to the rescue, don't you think?
Yeah, the first body, the one that I investigated with everyone, turned out to be a gang member. So is this person going after lowlives?
This person appears to be some sort of, or appeared to be some sort of, I don't know what you call it these days. Benefactor of the ladies of the night. A manager, you know?
Him?
Mm. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, that probably has something to do with gang stuff. Did you know if he was wearing any particular colors?
Was he there?
The attacker?
The person that got attacked?
Didn't seem to be. He was trying to dress flashy at the time. He had some nice jewelry on, but most of it fell off in the scuffle.
What about the woman? Was she wearing anything particular, like any colors? Because some mark their property.
She wasn't wearing anything in particular at all, from my recollection. Not much, that is. The usual garb. Revealing, but non-distinctive.
Damn.
Our killer... Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Our killer may just have a distaste for criminal activity.
Think about this time Baker will be coming back to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Baker is going to look towards the 300 as he goes ahead and descends the manhole. And he seems to be holding a pen and paper with something written on it, as well as a flash drive, and he's simply saying, I got it. I know when this fucker was dropped.
Oh.
Yeah, it was about insert time here in the morning.
I believe what I might try and do is find the lady in question.
Well, what did you guys find? I'm sorry I left you here alone.
Our victim was a... She does air quotes with her leathered fingers. A pimp. And prior to his death, he was assaulting a young lady in his employ. and whoever killed him didn't seem to take very kindly to it. Or at least that's the impression I got, that when he was attacked from behind and viciously beaten before having his throat ripped out.
Okay, okay. Baker's gonna walk over to the body again, unfurl a bit of the carpet a little bit more, and what he's gonna do, he's gonna play the we're going through this man's pockets game. Looking for the wallet, looking for identification.
That's easy enough to find. You find, like, there's a lump in his back pocket where his wallet is.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the wallet and fish out any identification, driver's license, library cards, whatever had you. And I'm also gonna fiddle through the huge wad of cash that I think is within the wallet, pilfer it for myself, and put it into my back pocket.
Yeah, there was a lot of cash in there.
Excellent. Yes. Does the identification give me any address of residence or what?
Well, the driver's license does. Has his address on it.
Okay. Okay. Baker's gonna go ahead and fiddle with the driver's license a little bit, read off the address, and show it to the two others. We have this man's address. You think we can find the people that work for him? Ask him a few questions about what they might have saw?
I think that if we go, she does the air quotes in curb crawling, in the particular area, we might come across the lady in question.
Alright, alright. It's not too much of a bother. I did contract somebody else to help with this particular investigation. A little bit of muscle should things go south, which, depending on how fast we get this done, might indeed go south, and depending on the strength that I saw on the videotape, oh yeah. Gonna bother you two ladies to go ahead and meet this individual and continue on without me? I don't do well face to face.
I was about to suggest that, yes, me and Everly go and curb crawl while you go and meet this other individual.
Who is the person you called? Do we know them?
It's actually the new arrival in town, the Clanless one. I'm giving her a chance to prove herself, prove that she can uphold at least one tradition.
Oh, sweet. You called Chell. I can help with that. Why don't I go meet her? I know her personally.
Yeah, sure. She should be coming by this way. And if you don't mind, Baker's gonna go ahead back to the body and roll it back up. Put it over his shoulder. I'll make sure to dispose of this, and I hope to hear many, many good things about how this investigation ends.
Alright then. We'll report back soon.
Don't worry. He's like, yes, don't worry. I will be very, very close behind, even if you can't see me. And he sort of goes ahead and walks off into the rest of the tunnel system of the sewers.
And Camilla goes up the... almost forgetting that Crimson was there.
I know. Quite obviously.
And she's surprised when she suddenly sees Crimson standing by the ladder.
Ooh.
Right. Will you be joining us in our menage a trois?
Well, when you put it that way.
Very well.
Eve swats him.
We go back up to street level, I presume.
Eve will follow.
Camilla will call for her car to come by.
You might see Chell walking down the street quite a distance, by the way, but she's not hard to miss. Big, tall, blonde lady heading your direction.
Quilla smiles.
Evil wave.
She'll she'll give a friendly wave and she'll just continue walking. She wasn't exactly sure how much of a rush they were in, so she just kind of idles up to the car and she looks between. She can see Crimson, right? Or no?
He's the last one to emerge.
And she looks between them and then, like, you see her give a sniff and then she kind of backs up. Mio Dio, where have you guys been?
Down there.
God, ugh. War flashbacks.
Fall into a sewer before you went to sleep? She arches a brow.
And you'll see Chell give you a very stern look. You could say that. Worst fucking experience in my life.
You have to tell me about that over drinks sometime.
You're gonna need a lot of drinks to get over that. So what are we doing?
Camilla's car pulls up and she ignores the others for a moment while she changes her clothes. Not all of them, but like sort of the outer layer and her shoes. And dons a new pair of gloves. And the rest of them get disposed of. And she says, looks over her shoulder. I'm going in search of a certain young lady. I think too many people in the car might frighten her.
Yeah, I can see that.
Do we know this young lady, or... Catch me up.
No. She's a witness to the murder we're investigating.
Well, if you need somebody to sort of infiltrate the other ladies of the evening, I could always change really quick.
I have a way with ladies of such an occupation. I'm sure I can encourage her to come and have a chat with us.
Alright.
Chell raises a brow at this.
I don't suggest we all pile into the car though, because it might intimidate her.
No.
Perhaps you should touch base with Mr. Baker, Lady Shell.
So where's that asshole? He told me to meet me here, and he isn't here.
Never talk shit about Baker. You never know where he is. Trust me.
I say that term endearingly.
You still tense. I don't know. He left. She shrugs.
So... I guess I'll just continue walking to where we're supposed to be.
Give me a few minutes to, well, a bit longer than that. Give me some time to do something, and then we'll reconvene. See if we can get hold of Baker. I'm sure he's watching from somewhere. That's what he usually does.
There's another small pebble that goes ahead and flings itself, this time towards Shell.
There you go.
Can I make a roll to swat it out of the air?
Baker will simply go ahead and yell out from the dark corner that he threw the rock, "You're with them tonight."
Alright.
Perhaps then you and Crimson can go and investigate the apartment while myself and Everly go in the car.
Alright. So kind of give a bit of a bow at this. Good luck on your end, ladies.
And Eve will move to Crimson before she leaves and she'll go, sorry to keep dragging you into messes, sweetheart. I just don't want to be alone after what happened.
Fine, that's fine.
I might have to put Chell in NPC mode pretty soon, because at 5:15 I have to drive off.
I will take special care of your companion, she says to Crimson.
Alright.
Take care of me.
No, Chell doesn't need to be taken care of. She's a badass.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Chell's too badass, she doesn't need taking care of. Eve, on the other hand, look at her. Look at this little twig.
I know, she has that gun.
That's true.
After you say that you're going to take care of his companion, he's going to look at Shell and he's going to say, don't try to be too rough.
Chell's shaking her head. Man.
Eve swats him, and then she gets in the car.
Camilla gets in the car.
Crimson will get in next to Eve with a little bit of a chuckle.
I thought you were going with Chell to the...
Oh, right.
Sorry. You can't be with Eve all the
I'm in
time.
3
It's
windows.
It's just that I don't, like, I want to do this quickly, it's just I don't think that having, like, 4 people in a car picking up a prostitute is going to look it's going to look suspicious. It'll make my charisma rolls a bit more difficult,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to me doing it seemingly on my own, or perhaps with a lady companion,
Mm-hmm.
who's appeared as 4. No offense, guys, just, it's weird. Not that I have any experience of picking up prostitutes. I'm going to stop talking now.
Rude.
And get on with the...
Honk the horn.
You assume that I'm even involved in this situation.
So, let's drive away, we...
Let's go get a prostitute.
And we're going to drive to... I don't think it's going to be very far from here. We'll drive around, see if we can spot this particular lady that I saw in the vision.
Would that be perception alertness, Dave, or?
No, it just takes a while, and after a little bit of driving around, you find that she's actually a lot closer to where the body was dumped than you would have thought. It's pretty much on the next street over.
Mm-hmm. And what's she doing? She's just sort of standing there.
Yeah, she's standing there. She talks to someone, and they take off without her. She goes back to where she was standing. She's looking around, waiting.
Camilla's gonna crawl over to where she is. In the car, obviously, not actually crawl. And stop and roll the window, roll down. Not all the way, just sort of partially.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna say, "Would you like to join me for a short time, my dear?"
That depends. What are you looking for?
Your company for a little chat in the back of my car. I'll pay you well, of course.
I'll agree to that. And if allowed, she'll get in.
Yeah, she's allowed. And it's a nice car. And there's a screen between Camilla and the driver, which is a privacy screen, so he can't see back at the moment anyway. And Camilla says, "Can I offer you a drink?" There's a little like champagne thing.
Like, yeah, sure.
Pours her a drink, and she's has one herself. So, I believe that you were witness to something the other evening. That's what I want to ask you about. Something strange happened.
After you hand her a drink, she'll be taking a sip of it, and when you mention what happened the other day, she'll stop, lower her drink, and she's gonna look to you and say, "Are you a cop?"
No.
And like, I did see something, but I honestly don't know what it was.
I'm rolling for presence level 3. Entrancement.
Okay.
And Camilla says, "It really would help me if you could just tell me everything you remember. If you'd be so sweet to do so."
And like, yeah, yeah, it would help, wouldn't it? And she says, "I was talking with my pimp, and I shortchanged him. I by $20. I didn't think he'd notice. I think he was expecting a lot more. And in the middle of this conversation, this, I think it was a man, ran by and grabbed him, and I lost sight of him. But he dropped the money, and I grabbed that and took off."
Do you recall of anything what this man who grabbed your employer or former employer looked like?
All dressed almost all in black. I think he was really pale, but it could have been just how dark it was outside.
Facial hair, clean shaven.
Looked clean shaven, from what I can remember. Black hair, though.
Interesting. And he didn't try and attack you.
No?
Perhaps your friend owed him some money or something. These things happen.
She's like, yeah, that's probably it.
Well, I'm very pleased that no harm came to you, at least. Camilla smiles.
She'll give a bit of a smirk at that and take another slow sip of her drink.
What's her sort of general appearance? How old is she?
She looks young, probably like somewhere between 18, 20, that range.
So around Eve's age, when we start appearing.
Yeah.
And what was the reason that you decided to shortchange your friend? Did you need the money for something else?
We all need the money for something else. With the economy the way it is.
Well, I won't take up too much more of your time, my dear, but if you were thinking about a less dangerous route of employment, you might want to drop by the bar sometime.
Okay.
Just something to think about. And Kudo will make sure that the car circles round her, goes back to where she was originally, and she'll offer her quite a considerable amount of money. Enough for, about an hour's rate.
And when you offer that, she'll give you a very heartfelt thanks.
Take care of yourself, these streets are dangerous.
She'll say, yeah, alright, I'll do that. She'll make sure she leaves the glass behind before leaving.
And Camilla lets her out and closes the door. And she turns to Emily and says, "Sometimes some honeyed words go a long way."
Yes. Shame that she's starting out so young, though.
I was not far from that kind of life myself once upon a time. But then, things, poverty, war, destruction. They do that to a woman, to a girl. And some things never change.
I never had to deal with all that, so I wouldn't really understand it, I suppose. I mean, considering I was adopted by a rather wealthy woman and a very wealthy father, she shrugged. I never really had to do any of that sort of thing to get by.
It's not a cheery tale, so I'll save you it for now. Anyway, we have a physical description of the individual in question.
Yeah.
Only means keeping an eye out for him. And passing this information along to Mr. Baker.
Yeah.
And ensuring that he doesn't do the same thing again, especially in the areas that are more deprived and prone to gangs. He seems to have a bone to pick with the lower echelon of society.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, considering the first one, it was a gang member from the Street Serpents. Of course, they think it was a pit bull attack. She just shakes her head. It's like, yeah, let's get back to Baker.
And we can drive back to Baker, or in Baker's direction.
Mm-hmm.
Or we can just pass along the information, whatever is best. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else we're going to do with this investigation, as it were.
Baker can definitely use the information that you guys have gathered using his own influences and context to set up the next scene, because I'm very, very sure that this is going to happen again, perhaps in this very neighborhood.
Yeah.
And seeming as if the NPCs have already gone off to do their own little investigation, we'll hear back from them perhaps at the beginning of the next scene. But if everybody's happy with that, I can go ahead and hit this button after a few last actions.
No, you may. Since I cannot find Mitch, Maverick, at this place, I'm going to call Baker and pass on the information I received.
Yep. Feel free to pass it on in the chat window, visually, audibly, in the Hangout or on a Facebook, but just go, do it.
Alright, when he gets ahead of hold of Baker, he's going to go, well, Baker, did you ever figure out what put a face to John Smith? Because I just did. He's your Mr. Scarface.
The recorded. Go ahead.
The hospital says they got a patient in that was attacked by a bear, but the note says that one of the claws had a opposable digit, which bears don't have. And this FBI somehow miraculously recovered, leaving behind barely noticeable scars. The FBI, of course, doesn't have any record of this man existing, and the badge number was a fake.
And all throughout, while you're giving this message to Baker's voicemail, you hear every so often, just peppered in the voicemail recorder, yes, go on, yes. It's basically a recorded voice that is just urging more information to get piled in.
After he gives the information, he'll just go, well, call me back when you hear this. Let me know if it was useful. Anyway, goodbye. And he'll hang up.
Thank you. Awesome. We bring this scene to a close. Any last actions, requests, feelings, and whatever the not?
Nope, we're good.
All right. We bring the scene to a close, and Vampire the Masquerade Independence. We go ahead and zoom out of the street, where we see the streetwalker walking back to her corner. We go ahead and zoom out to this street, to the various crack houses around this neighborhood. We zoom further out to where we can see the entire municipality, and we again zoom out, now seeing the state of Texas, actually. We continue to zoom out the camera very, very visibly to one particular Nosferatu, a man by the name of Baker, playing on his little smartphone, playing with the Google Map images, just zooming in and out, in and out. And behind him, there's this man who is screaming obscenities, particularly about how crappy Black Swan is, how he figured out the entire premise and plot of the movie just within the first drug-addled scene. Baker, for as far as trying to ignore the madman as much as possible. I hope you all had fun. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, players, for playing.